What are counterfeit churches? So counterfeit churches refer to religious organizations that misuse Christian language, symbols, and practices. And they do this for personal gain rather than genuine spiritual upliftment. So they often claim special powers to perform miracles. They emphasize prosperity, prosperity gospel, that is giving money, leading to blessings. So they focus on wealth accumulation and luxury lifestyles. They lack accountability, transparency, spiritual fruit, consistent with biblical teachings. Counterfeit churches in Kenya. But then how do they operate? Many of these churches teach that financial giving leads to wealth, healing, and breakthrough. So the congregants are often told to plant a seed with money in the expectation that God will repay them many times ever. So let us now look at the stages of fake miracles. Some pastors have been exposed, arranging actors, or paying participants, or deceiving, or using deceptive practices in order to simulate miracles, for example, staged healing and testimonies. So then we also learned that these pastors sell their miracles or services. So they offer holy water in goods, or oil, or they give prophetic words, but then for a fee, with promises of spiritual or material gain. So these are common practices in these churches. So, and this, for that case, blurs the line between they have television programs, radio programs, and social media programs, so which have been used to amplify their ministries, creating large platforms, but often without accountability or theological oversight. So we look at examples of abuses and scandals in Kenya. So we learned that these examples reflected public reports and controversies. So monitoring them can help highlight patterns without attacking faith itself. So now we have a case that was very scary. So the case of Shakahora, so which was associated with hundreds of deaths of people or faithfuls after the members were encouraged to serve themselves. So under the belief of a divine revelation. So the government of Kenya designated it as a criminal organization. So then we have fake miracles and money requests, and we learned that some pastors have been widely exposed, so for staging fake miracles and instructing helpers to fall during service in order to mimic healings. So they also said to ask their congregants to send money through forms in order to receive prayers. So we look at church-backed fraudulent investments. So it is reported that some churches start church projects with an intention of defrauding their members. So there is a report of a church project of land buying, so where congregants were defrauded of as much as 10. There are some reports that indicated that some church pastors publicly live in luxury, owning multiple vehicles, bodyguards, private jets, and many other properties, is while appealing for more offerings from their congregants. So some critics list pastors linked to controversial characters and lifestyles that appear inconsistent with basic Christian living. So let us now look at weak regulations. So why this kind of life, or why these churches behave like that? So one, it is because of religious organizations in Kenya are not required to report finances or finances publicly or undergo audits. So there is minimal oversight on how donations are used. So we look at poverty and hope. So high levels of poverty, unemployment, social insecurity make people receptive to messages promising immediate blessings, healings, and divine intervention. So then cultural expectations. So religious leaders are often trusted implicitly. Challenging their claims is seen as challenging, as questioning faith itself. So, and what are the effects of individual and community, or individuals and community? So we look at financial exploitation. So we learn that many people give beyond their means by selling their assets, borrowing money, or losing their savings because of promises tied to giving. So then emotional and psychological harm. So false hopes can lead to despair, or when promised miracles don't materialize. So then social harm. Families can be torn apart. So when church leaders demand obedience, offer sound judgment. So then loss of trust in faith. So abuses by self-serving pastors have led some believers to distract Christian institutions altogether. So and how, let us now look at how the church should respond. So, and we look at biblical discernment. So the church leaders must teach what the scripture says about giving, wealth, offering, and miracles. So genuine faith is not transactional. So we look at accountability and transparency. So churches should voluntarily practice financial accountability, external audit, and published reports and accountable boards. So then educating the faithful. So the church is supposed to teach congregants how to identify red flags, for example. So when church leaders are demanding money for blessings, or when there are secretive finances, or when there is lack of accountability. So then looking at peer and denomination oversight. So we learn that Christianity or Christian councils and denominations should strengthen mechanisms to investigate misconduct and discipline leaders where needed. So then looking at community focus, so we learn that churches should prioritize practical service, that is, helping the needy, building hospitals, building schools, and also community building, not just sensationalism. So then we look at biblical and theological perspective. So Jesus' wealth and exploitation. So Jesus repeatedly condemned religious leaders who exploit the vulnerable. For example, in the book of Luke chapter 11 verse 52 from the NIV Bible says, "You shut the kingdom of heaven for people's faces. You neither enter yourselves nor allow those who want to enter go in. True miracles serve God's glory." So the true miracles are authentic. So they are spiritual gifts and healings which serve to glorify God and build up the community, not the ego, not the status or luxury of a leader. So that is according to the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Let us now look at signs of a healthy church versus counterfeit church. A healthy church has open accountability. A counterfeit church has secretive finances. A healthy church has servant leaders. A counterfeit church has a leader who has a centered personality. And a healthy church emphasizes on scripture. A counterfeit church emphasizes for money, or miracles for money. A healthy church serves the community. A counterfeit church focuses on luxury life of a leader. So a healthy church has discernment and testing the prophecy. A counterfeit church has unverified supernatural claims for power. And in conclusion, so we learned that mega churches and dishonest pastors are a real problem in Kenya. So they exploit faith and hope for money and influence. So, but their crisis also present an opportunity for either church to rise with biblical integrity. They are supposed to teach discernment. They are supposed to promote accountability and protect the vulnerable. So thank you. May God bless you and protect you from counterfeit churches. Thank you.